Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and hope you're lucky enough to be doing it. So I'm Bushka on Blitz, and as you can probably tell from my electric vocals at the moment, I have a little bit of a head cold thing going on. Had a big day today in the saddle. We did a very, very big patron-only Discord chat stream thingamajiggy, which was actually a lot of fun, even though I got the living pants kicked out of me by pretty much the entire North American server. But this is a video of the Grille 15. And I've done the Grille before. Look, I'm a huge fan of the tank. And that goes without saying. I've been on record for quite some time as... This is another enduring theme in my time in North America. I get called fake Bushka all the time. And I got to say too, hats off NA server. You are easily the saltiest server that the sun has ever set upon. I've never seen so many angry people as I have on the NA server, but that's neither here nor there. And the waffle who called me fake Bushka wasn't angry at all. He was quite a nice bloke, and I did have a chat to him after. He ended up in a few games with me. And the reason I really want to do a thing about the Grille 15 is I'm getting on towards doing a final wrap-up of the rating season. And I wanted to mention the Grille specifically because I was really surprised by how many Grilles I saw in game. In fact, I wasn't expecting this to be the most played TD. And it was, even more than the Death Star, which I did expect to see a lot of, and I did see a huge amount of Death Stars. There was an awful lot of Grilles played by very good players. And there's a reason for that. And it's a bit of a theme within the game itself. Any tank that you can put a huge gun on that has good mobility, people will drive. And people that can drive well will absolutely hammer in it. And I'm not just talking about tank destroyers like the Borsig or the Grille or the Waffle Tractor or anything along those lines. I am, of course, talking about tanks like the T-49. There is an enduring ability for good players in all kinds of games to take a build that is basically the glass cannon build, the build that is all offense, absolutely nothing but offense, and just relies on being better than the opposition for the most part. And that's exactly what the Grille is. If you've ever played an RPG like Worlds of Warcraft or EverQuest or Dark Ages of Camelot or anything like that, and you were like me, you'd know that there were opportunities to absolutely max out your damage while playing a character that would get absolutely belted 6 shades of purple if they were found anywhere near the bad guys. And the Grille is literally the World of Tanks Blitz equivalent of the Ice Mage. Glass cannon, all killer, absolutely no filler, but a terrible tank to deal with when you get up close and personal. And you're going to see a couple of things, but what it does really, really, really well, exceptionally well in fact, is move and blow stuff up. The gun is incredibly accurate, just absolutely off the charts accurate, and the tank is very, very fast. And those two things combine to give the tank an awfully high ceiling. Now, the floor is, of course, incredibly low. It's the kind of tank that can be hit for just about a full hit point roll by a marauding 183. As you saw, I've been hit once in this game, and that was by a 183, and I've got 400 hit points left. And it's a tank also that takes full HE rolls from a lot of tanks, an awful lot of tanks. Its armor is nondescript, well below average, very, very poor, frighteningly bad. But its mobility is brilliant. You're going to see what I mean here. That T30 is a 2-shot for me. I'm going to push around here. I'm thinking he must be up the top there. Maybe I can sneak around and grab one. And I just stuffed my HE roll here. On the move. Should have just waited a second. Could have done a full bang in the back. Anyway, onwards and upwards. You saw this tank got to the flank. And that's one of the things that people love about it. It's one of the reasons why I think it did so bloody well in Ranked. In Ranked, I found that tanks that had mobility were actually at a premium. And tanks that I didn't really expect to do as well as they did, like the Leo 1, did exceptionally well for me in Ranked. were really, really positive. And the Grille can do other things that other TDs quite simply can't. And it maintains that that maverick outlook, that super quick. I mean, this is a Jagdpanzer 100. I'm able to move around the flank, position for shots, leverage off my team, keep him on the other side of a hill. I know I can get away from him if I need to, and basically just look for opportunities, and I think he's going to fire a shot here. So what I'm going to do is the Grille COD, there you go, he's fired. I've got like 16, 17 seconds to get past him. I'm looking at the clock. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Even though he starts turning, I pick the right way, and then we are literally CODing another Tier 10 TD in a Tier 10 TD, which is pretty freaking hilarious. And he's not really done a whole lot wrong. He's just in an exceptionally high caliber gun with an exceptionally poor armor profile. And I'm in the sewing machine of death and justice, which is exactly what I called the Grille when I first looked at it. It reminds me of like a Singer sewing machine with a huge big gun shucked on top. It's like got that clockwork kind of feel about it. It's this incredible mobility coupled with the incredible gun that gets the ball rolling. It's one of the best tanks in the game for dominating a flank, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. There's two Grilles on the other team. I'm expecting to see them. You're going to see me load HE before I even get anywhere near it because I am loaded for Grille. Literally. I'm a cannibalistic bugger. So I got to rated battles and I found Grilles everywhere. I found Grilles all the time, and I found them doing way better than I expected them to do. Because despite the fact that there are a lot of heavies and there are a lot of tough armor profiles, the gun on the Grille is good enough that it doesn't really struggle with that. And despite the fact that there were a lot of 215B183s, the guys driving the Grille tended towards the upper echelon of players, the kind of guys who knew exactly what they were about and who were willing to be a bit patient with their tank, were willing to use the mobility to actually get shots in, like I am here, and then go behind hard cover and literally expose themselves for very, very limited amounts of time. And this really surprised me. You can see that Grille there. I'm unspotted. I've switched to HE. I'm going to get to fire 150 millimeters, dead set into the top of... Oh, I love this. 1044. Thanks very much. And that's how you clear the flank of a map. And it's something that the Grille can do again and again and again and again. And you see it on maps like Copperfield, for instance, where mediums push up. And if you've got a Grille on your team, you can get out and take shots behind the mediums and offer them a tremendous amount of support. And it's really, really valuable for your team, and it can actually swing the game. It can really swing the game. I mean, I ended up doing, I don't know, 4,500 damage in that game. And most of it was done from that flank area and that town area there before I even had to worry about taking a shot. And what about on maps that are close in? Well, this is where the mobility really works for the Grille. You can see here I'm on Fort Despair, which is not traditionally a map that you'd expect a Grille to do really well on when someone's just asked me about Snake there. Snake, I hope you don't see that. When you're not on the sniping positions, which can be seen on the northwest corner for my team, either side of the flag. Yet this position right here is ideal for a Grille. It allows you the opportunity to use both the camouflage coefficient in inflating brush that you can see in front of me, the soft cover, the concealment, and the hard cover of the wall to my right. Now this is really what the Grille is all about. You've got soft cover, you've got hard cover, and you can take your shot, completely reset your camo behind a very, very safe wall, and then stroll back out nonchalantly and pump again. So that's 1,100 damage, maybe a little bit more that we've done for that E100, and we've yet to receive a shot in anger. And we pretty much won't the whole game. We're just going to exploit this little matchup here. It's a lovely space. It's a position that really works for us, and if we do get spotted, we're straight back behind hard cover. Now, you can watch the mini-map here and you can see the Reds are pushing up around the cap circle, and I am in the perfect tank to take advantage of this, even though I do absolutely stuff this shot. It's aimed at the E100, it just goes over the top of his head. Take a little bit more time next time, Bushka, and you'll be all apples. It's exactly what we do, and we go right for that lower glacis. The gun is incredibly accurate. How accurate, you ask? Well, let me just go look at Blitz stars. Let's look at it together. Let's look at Blitz stars together. Because they did actually change the numbers on the gun. They nerfed it a touch because it was over the top accurate. It was pretty crazy how good the gun was. 0.272 dispersion once you've got all your rations and everything on. Like, how do you like them apples? 0.272 dispersion with a no mod aim time of 1.42. Now, you couple all that with a little bit of nous and a little bit of intelligence with the way you play the game, and you have a tank that I referred to earlier as in the same kind of league as the T-49. It's funny, isn't it? Like, there is the huge negative to this tank. You saw me hit a Grille for 1,044 with my high explosive round before. And this is the same guy asking me, are you really Bushka? Like, I got so much of this on the NA server just all the time. Hey, like, are you Bushka? Are you Bushka? Are you Bushka? And I also got heaps of stuff where people just wouldn't shoot someone else. They just wait and wait and wait and wait until I came out. And there was a game on Middleburg where there was myself on a T-54 versus an IS-7 who'd pushed top. I'd cleared the rest of it, ammo racked a T-54, put 900 into a Leo 1 in the grill, and then this IS-7 just sat there and watched me. In fact, I'll show it to you. It was hilarious. This stuff happens on NA all the time. It doesn't really happen on Asia, even when I'm using the account that says Bushka and nothing else in the title, because NA pays attention. They have all the salt, but they also have like a whole lot of people who look at this stuff and ask for thumbs up in the game afterwards from other players, and they really pay attention to these things. Watch this IS-7. He's just waiting to shoot Bushka. And this, if you watch the stream today, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about. The amount of fire I am drawing, it is like a magnetic field. It's like a planetary force. And this T-54 is just, he's run out of pramo, I think. And he's really struggling to pan the back of the IS-7. Like, our IS-7 is going to drive all the way up. I think, okay, surely he's going to have a go. He's not looking at, he's got to be looking at something else now. T-54 is going to be right. I can go down there and have a look. And, yep, so here we go. I'll go around the corner. He's going to have a crack at the T-57. No, he's not, you know. He really isn't. It's just shooting me. So I back up again. And he starts looking at me again. This is happening on the server all the bloody time. That 54 is just having a field day. Start padding. No stit padder. No kid bush. Well, you have to be so mad. I'm just honest to God. Anyway, back to the grill. Yeah, hats off NA server. You boys pay attention. It's been interesting to realise, for me, and I don't want to spoil all the stuff I'm going to talk about in the roundup for the ratings video, because I do have a lot of footage and there is a lot of things to get through. But it's interesting to me to realise that things turned out a little bit differently to the way I expected them to turn out, despite the massive amount of effort and thought I put into both the best ratings tanks videos, and some of them were really easy picks that you knew were going to be good tanks for ratings, like the IS-7 and such. And some of them, like the Grille, were more of a surprise because I didn't expect such a huge proportion of the, like, say, 60 plus win rate population to run this particular tank. But there was a massive amount of people running this particular tank, including some of the guys who got right over 6,000 on the Asia server, well and truly above that. And I'll actually finish with a carry from someone. And you can see it was kind of mad not to include it in the conversation as the most likely to succeed, because all the people who drive the thing, and I like to fancy myself that I do know how to drive it. I mean, let me have a quick look here. I had a fair few games in it on NA, and I really love, I love this tank. You know, I had 16 games on it on NA, 114, and had about 2,700 average damage. Now, that's a better run than I'd expect or I deserve, so I'd expect that to come down a bit, but you can see it's an effective freaking tank. And it's that mobility and that accuracy, that 0.27, really just it makes it so much easier to get shots to go in, and it means you don't have to expose your armor profile for so long, and you've got a TD gun. And TD guns became really important in ratings because the mediums and such, after all the medium nerfs and the premium ammo nerfs and such, tanks like the Grille and the T110E4, tanks that had a turret and could get shots off in an easier fashion, they also had the guns to pen tanks like this E100 and the IS-7s and the Mouses of this world, who became real big issues. And I'm just going to fast forward this through the whole killing the T-54 and moving on with life. I'm going to finish this with an interesting one. This is a guy called CoCoC_Iron on the Asia server. And you can see straight away there cannibalistic tendencies of the Grille. 1 on 4 in a ratings battle, and this is why this tank seemed to do so well. Good player. Think about 62% win rate, about 1900 average damage. He's got some good players against him. I put a fair bit of damage into Partho up the back, who's like rated number 10 on the Asia server in ratings, like 6,100 or 6,200 or something nuts, you know. Path is an amazing player. Like, we had a competition way back in the day in Storm to see who could win the most games in a row, and he ran like 30 in a row at tier 10. The guy can absolutely play. But the Grille was perfectly built for situations like this because it's mobile enough to get one shot off and then get around the other side of this building and cover both bases. The traverse and the turret is very good. The alpha is a death for every single one of these guys. And they should have pushed up together ages ago, or not pushed up at all. They were going to win on a cap, rather. And they left poor old Path in this horrible position of trying to get there on the reload because, really, I mean, they really did leave him in a bad spot. And that's the Grille. I mean, it's such a freaking good tank. And I vastly underestimated how effective it would be. And I've only got myself to blame because upon playing it again, all the reasons why it was really good are absolutely apparent. Anyway, I'm Bushka on Blitz. Love your work. Thanks very much for supporting the channel. And as always, stay safe on the battlefield.